Booking an international trip can feel overwhelming. Like there's so many steps, so many things you can mess up. Flights, passports, hotels, money. And if you do it wrong, it can get expensive fast. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to book an international trip from start to finish, the same way I do it. So you can travel confidently, save money, and actually enjoy the process. Okay, guys, before you do anything, check your passport. Let's say you don't have a passport. Jessica, what is a passport? A passport is a document that is needed to travel international. It looks like this. It's pretty compact, it's hard, and a lot of people who travel a lot get them stamped. It'll show you, people have books and loaded books, I'm sure. I don't have a lot of stamps in here, so I'm not going to embarrass myself, but I have traveled internationally before. And passports are required. If you don't have a passport, you can go to travel.state.gov, and this is where you can apply as an adult. You can apply for children under age 16, children age 16 and 17. You can renew your passport. So recently I had to renew my passport because my passport was expiring. So now I have a fresh passport. That did take a little bit of time, and you do have to get a professional photo done, and then you send it into the location that they require, and then they will put it together for you and send you your passport. You do have to have evidence of citizenship, and you do have to have proper photo identification. For example, let's say you don't know where your driver's license is or whatever. The best thing I would do first is to get that aligned first, get your real ID. You know how to do that is dependent on whatever state you're in, and then go ahead and apply and get your passport done because you do have to prove that you're a citizen. They do have so processing times. Let's say you're supposed to go to Nigeria in 2026. In March 26, you have a lot of time. Your passport should be here by the end of 2026. But let's say it's March 26th and you want to go to Nigeria on April 1st. You're pushing it. Matter of fact, I don't even think you can get it that fast. There are rumors that you can rush it and it can get here in less than 6 weeks, but it's March 26th. You're actually asking them to hand you your passport within 4 days. You don't even know if it's going to make it there in the mail within those amount of time. So please make sure you guys schedule around getting your passport, because that is the number one thing to worry about. This is non-negotiable. Your passport needs to be valid for at least 6 months beyond your travel dates as well. So let's say your passport expires the end of April. You cannot travel because if you're going to be in Nigeria until May 1st and your passport expires in April, you could possibly end up being stranded where you are, because people take passports very serious, especially with what's going on with the wars. They're very strict about people entering and exiting. So you need to be aware of that. Next, you need to check if your destination requires a visa. And we talked about this with one of my other videos. You guys can go back to Nomad Traveling, and it shows you ways to check if the country requires a visa. So to go back, you can go to this website. It's called Sherpa.com. So we already checked through here. So let's say we wanted to go from San Francisco to Nigeria. You do have visa requirements for that. You need a visa for Nigeria. You have to apply online. It ends up forwarding you to this evisaimmigration.gov/Nigeria. You have to create an account. You have to fill out an application, and then you have to pay for it. You also need a mandatory travel declaration before entering Nigeria. This is all travelers entering Nigeria must complete a travel declaration to pre-process their arrival by providing travel and passport details. Travelers must complete this form online. Landing cards are processed instantly, and travelers will receive a QR code. You have to have mandatory proof of return. Let's say you want to go to Nigeria, but you can only afford to get there, and you think you're going to get paid 2 weeks while you're in Nigeria, and you're going to be able to afford to come back, because some of these plane tickets can be up to the thousands. They don't. Some places they don't play that because they want to see that you're not trying to just take a one way to a country and leave and not come back. So they're going to want to see your proof of return that you're coming back to the United States, or that you're going from Nigeria to Japan. And then from Japan, they're going to still want to see that you're returning back to America. Travelers do require a valid passport at least 6 months from the time of entry. Mandatory proof of accommodation. That means that you must prove that you have a relative, a friend, and the host must be a Nigerian status holder or a legal resident. Okay. So actually, my bad. I can't even go to Nigeria because I used to have a guy who said he would be he would vouch for me. But shout out to you, Frank. Um, Me and him are not in communication anymore. But it is true, to get into Africa and parts of Africa, you need somebody from the country to vouch for you and say, hey, Jessica can come. So anybody that's in Nigeria right now in Africa, I need you to be my accommodation. Drop down in the comments and let me know you'll come vouch for me. I really appreciate it. Then you need to declare if you are balling and you're carrying more than $10,000. So for me, I would probably want to carry some cash on me because of the fact that our your debit cards might not work in some of these places, or you might want to exchange money, things like that. But you do have to tell them if you're bringing that type of money back and forth, or they will confiscate it. They'll think you're trafficking. You don't want to get in trouble with none of that. Okay, so always be aware of that. And then there's recommended vaccinations: yellow fever, hepatitis A and B, typhoid vaccine, meningococcal vaccine, and polio and measles. So in order to get to Nigeria, you do got to get the ping pow. So if you know you're against the ping pow and you don't play that, it's probably important for you to figure out another country to go to, because this stuff is non-negotiable. They don't care that you don't do vaccines and you don't believe in all of that stuff. Baby, you're not getting into the country. Just respect these countries. The reason why they do that is to protect you, because a lot of animals, their mosquitoes have different type of they're on top of animals that have diseases in their blood that we cannot handle. So let's say this mosquito was flying on an elephant that has a blood disease that it can survive, but it lands on you, and now you're sick and you're about to pass away because you cannot handle, your immune system cannot handle being bitten by a mosquito. That is the reason why they want you to get your vaccination. So please be aware of that, guys. And other than that, you may need a prescription medication for malaria and traveler's diarrhea. We're not going to get into that, but this is something that you need to look into, okay? But I think for me, Africa is just too much to handle right now. So that's not a trip I recommend unless you really just want to go there. That's a very, very high, you see all of the requirements. You might need years to get prepared for things like that. So just be aware. If you've been waiting for the right time to book your international trip, this is your sign. Travel does not have to be complicated. You just need a clear system. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more travel content. If you have some helpful tips for international travel, please leave them down in the comments and let others know what you know about international travel. And I'll see you in the next destination.